Hi guys, it's Taylor and welcome back to my channel. If you are new, please don't forget to subscribe and turn on your post notifications so that you know whenever I upload. Today we are talking about a new fragrance release that I am very excited for, and I have definitely been anticipating since I saw that it was coming out across social media. Sol De Janeiro's newest fragrance called After Hours. They sent this over to me a couple of days ago and I have been trying it out since then, so I'm very excited to share with y'all my thoughts on this, if I would recommend you purchase this, what it smells like, how long it lasts on the skin, and everything in between. I'm very excited for this one, so we are just going to jump straight on into this video and not do no more talking. So before I get into talking about the actual fragrance, I do want to read you guys some of the notes and like information on the fragrance as a whole, so that you can get an idea of where I'm going to be coming from, and so that you know you can envision and kind of almost smell the fragrance yourself. Y'all know, if you are a fragrance person and you love fragrances, perfumes, colognes, you know what I mean when I say envision and get the smell for yourself, you know. So I'm reading this information off of the Sephora website. So it categorizes this fragrance in the family of florals, and the scent type is a warm floral. The notes in here are black currant, midnight jasmine, and amber woods, and that's just the basis of what it says on the Sephora website. So I'm actually going to move over to the Fragrantica website so that I can read you guys the full list of notes and everything else that is in this fragrance, so that y'all know where I'm coming from when I say how I feel about it. Fragrantica, they actually classify this as a floral, fruity, gourmand fragrance for both men and women. Top notes on here are black currant and pear. The middle notes are night blooming jasmine, vanilla, whipped cream, and freesia, and the base notes are caramel, patchouli, and amberwood. I actually kind of really like this fragrance, and I'm pleasantly surprised that I actually do like this scent, because when I first read about the notes and everything online, and even after hearing the name After Hours, I automatically assumed that this was going to be a fragrance that's best used in the nighttime, something for like a date night, a night out on the town, or just wearing at night in general. So I wasn't really too keen on getting it, and then when they decided they were actually going to send it over to me, I was like, oh, I can still have this. Based off of the notes alone, this is a fragrance that I typically would not go for, because I don't really care for those scents that are like deep, sultry, sensual type of fragrances. Even though this is classified as a kind of warm floral slash gourmand scent, I don't really think this is a gourmand scent at all. It definitely does fall more in line of the category of being like a warm floral as opposed to gourmand. Like this don't give gourmand at all. Actually, no, slightly gives gourmand, but not too much on the gourmand, okay? Not too much. Like I said, I have worn this and tested it out for a couple of days, but I do want to just spray it again so y'all can get the full effect of how it smells on the opening, the middle, and the dry down, because it definitely does kind of change and like almost reformulate itself as it's drying down. I think once this is dried down, that's the reason why I actually like it a lot more. Okay, when you first spray this, it definitely leans a lot more towards like being a fruity floral type of note. You get a lot of like that black currant, the pears peeking through to make it a little bit more fruity. Actually almost opens up as being a fresher type of fragrance, but as it dries down, it turns a lot more sweeter, like vanilla, almost creaminess, and I think that can be attributed to the whipped cream note in here. It's almost like a sweet cream vanilla type of scent, and it gets a lot more sweeter, which is why I'm pretty sure I'm leaning more towards this fragrance, just because of that alone on the dry down, which kind of can be classified as almost like a little bit of a gourmand scent. Like, I personally don't consider this to be a super gourmand scent, at least right now. I think it leans more so towards being floral, a warm floral, just like the Sephora website suggested. But it gets a lot sweeter on the dry down, which makes it a lot more bearable for me to wear, considering there's the other notes in there that I was like, I don't really know about. I don't think I'm gonna like that. Honestly, I think they did a really great job with this scent overall, because a lot of the notes that are in here are typically notes that I would not really gravitate towards in a fragrance at all, especially with them being all combined into one. I was really like offset by the fragrance. It was very off-putting to me when I initially read it. Before I even got it and smelled it, I was just already like, no, I do not think I'm gonna like that. But I feel like they did such a great job with blending and mixing in all of the fragrances so that they, or not the fragrances, the notes, so that they complement each other very, very well. You do smell a little bit of the patchouli in there. Like it, I mean, it's there. This is a deep sultry fragrance like I was mentioning before, so the patchouli in this scent is there, but I don't think it's strong enough to be off-putting to somebody that does not like patchouli. I know I don't like patchouli scents, but I keep buying, or not even buying, I keep getting fragrances that got patchouli in them. So do I really not like patchouli, or am I just lying? Once this fragrance is fully dried down, it almost smells kind of powdery in a sense. Like it turns into like a fresh powdery scent that's still deep and sultry. Now, overall, I'm really liking this fragrance so far. Just off of scent alone, I would give it like an 8 out of 10, only because this isn't like something that I typically grow for. That's just still because this is gonna have to grow on me a little bit more for me to fully enjoy it, because I'll be honest, when I first smelled this, I was like, hold on, I was taken aback. But I let it dry down, and once it did dry down, that's what really drew me to it and made me like it even more. So I feel like over time, as I start using this more and more, I will really come to enjoy this scent. Not saying I don't enjoy it now, because I do, but I will enjoy it a lot more. Into if this fragrance lasts or not, I will say this has like a moderate lasting power, at least on myself and on my skin. I feel like this does definitely quickly become a skin scent, to where it's not really projecting as much as it does when you first spray it and within like the first 5 to 10 minutes. Because the very first time that I used this fragrance was actually at night, because once I smelled this, I immediately knew what fragrances from my collection as far as body care I was going to pair this with, which I will get into in a little bit. But I used this for the very first time in my body care like shower routine a couple days ago, and it did really well with the pairing that I had it with. But as far as lasting powder, I want to say I took a shower around like 7:30, 8 o'clock, and by the time I got in the bed around like 9-10 o'clock, the scent definitely was a lot lighter. It wasn't as strong as it was when I first put it on, or even within the first hour. It definitely did wear off a lot and wasn't really that noticeable on me, and I couldn't really smell it as much. Keep that in mind if you're somebody who likes scents to be super heavy hitting, or you just want to smell them. This is something that you are gonna most likely have to reapply. And I mean, it is a mist, it's not necessarily a perfume, so of course it's gonna be lighter anyways. But at least on me, it didn't last super long, so I'm still testing it out with different combinations to try to figure out a way to make it last a lot longer and get more longevity out of it. But right now, this lasted about 1.5-2 hours on me, which is not the greatest, but at the same time, I'm somebody who doesn't mind reapplying scents. So I mean, I just pop it right off, spray it on me again, and then I'm good to go. Now, going into some layering and other like fragrance pairing combinations that I've done since getting this and testing this out. Immediately once I smelled this scent, like off rip, I knew, and I instantly thought of Dark Kiss from Bath and Body Works. I was like, oh, this with this will definitely mix to be a great pair, and this is the very first combination that I actually tried out with it. Definitely complemented each other very well. Now, the notes on Dark Kiss are okay. Hey guys, this is me on a completely different day, popping back in to finish out this video, because I didn't realize that once I actually finished editing the original video and exporting it to upload, it cut off like the last 5 minutes of me talking, which is so annoying. So I just had to refilm it, because I was like, I can't just not give y'all this review. I was so excited. I even uploaded it, but then once I realized, I took it down. So here I am again to refilm the rest of the video of me talking about the scent pairings. Left off on comparing After Hours and Dark Kiss and saying that they made a good scent pairing, and y'all, I freaking loved the way that these two combined together and smelled. I feel like Dark Kiss really brought out the sweetness of this fragrance and kind of made it more like creamy, berry-like. It smelled so freaking good. And on top of the mist, I also went in and used the shower gel and the body lotion just to, you know, extend the longevity of this scent and also see how well it truly performed with After Hours. And I will say I was thoroughly impressed. I really enjoyed it, and this is definitely a scent pairing that I will use frequently with this one. So I'm very excited to see how well this one especially performs in the winter time once it does get a lot cooler outside, because I just know this should perform very well. I'm having high expectations for it. The scent that I think After Hours compares really well to is Into the Night, also from Bath & Body Works, and I think it has to do with that common factor of having that patchouli note in there. They both smell really similar, dark, deep, sultry, really just nice and inviting for a nighttime out fragrance. And even though they don't smell exactly the same, because they do have their differences, they are very similar to be paired against each other. I just think that Into the Night is a tad bit more sweeter than After Hours. Like After Hours is more woodsy, where Into the Night is more like sweet and berry-ish, if that really makes sense. So they're not dupes of each other, but they are similar enough to wear with each other. Next one I think this would make a great pairing with as well is Fairy Tale. Now I haven't tried this combination out just yet, but just from smelling them, I think they would do really well together, especially because Fairy Tale is a lot more on the fresher, like sweeter side. I think that would mix really well with the dark and the woodsiness of this to bring it together. And the final scent that I think would be a great pair is also In the Stars. Now I don't know what it is about In the Stars as of like literally a day ago, but I have recently now become obsessed with this scent. I don't know what it is, but I used the hand cream last night and I was like, oh yeah, I need to start using this more. But I think this will also pair really well with After Hours and kind of bring out a lot more of that muskiness, that woodiness. I will be trying out this one as well as Fairy Tale and updating you guys over on my Instagram how well they pair together, how well they lasted, the longevity of all of that. Hear my thoughts on those scent pairings and maybe even a couple more if I figure out some more that'll pair well with this. Definitely make sure you follow me over on my fragrance Instagram, which is always linked down below, because that's where everything goes before it comes over to here. Guys, those are my full thoughts, combination, layering pairings of this new After Hours fragrance by Sol De Janeiro. Like I said before, this is definitely gonna have to grow on me a lot more for me to become obsessed with it, but in the short span of time that I have been using it and testing it out, I've actually really been liking it more and more. So yeah, you guys, that is all I have for this video. I hope you all really liked and enjoyed it. If you did, please let me know by giving me a thumbs up and commenting down below. And if you've gotten this fragrance yet, or if you're planning to get it, let me know your thoughts on it. How do you feel about it? Are you liking it? Let me know all of that down below so that we can chat, because I definitely want to hear other people's opinions on it. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.